Hi, this is your host Swapnil Bharti, and welcome to this special edition of TFR Newsroom for the Cloud Foundry Summit. And today we have with us Jared Ruckle, Group Product Line Marketing Manager at VMware. Gerard, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Let's talk about what is VMware announcing at the Cloud Foundry Summit.
I think there's a number of really cool things. A couple things on the open source front. I think you've probably chatted with us about the CF for Kubernetes project. That's hitting a really important milestone, 1.0, really bringing in that Cloud Foundry developer API experience with a lot of exciting projects from the Cloud Foundry Computing Foundation, Istio, FluentD, Prometheus. So that's probably our flagship open source announcement we're most excited about. And then, of course, for VMware on the commercial front, we just had our Spring One Developer Conference. We just had VMworld. And so a lot of exciting announcements, customer stories there around how we're really bringing Cloud Foundry and Kubernetes closer together. And one of the things we're excited about is something called Tanzu Service Manager, which takes this tried and true Cloud Foundry Marketplace API and allows companies running Cloud Foundry to bring services running on top of Kubernetes to that custom code running on Cloud Foundry. So this opens up a whole new universe of services for those shops running Cloud Foundry at scale.
Right. If you look at VMware, and if you look at Cloud Foundry and Kubernetes, you're one of the, I think, third largest contributors to Kubernetes. And when it comes to Cloud Foundry, when we look at Pivotal and other work that is going on, so you're at the center of both technologies. So let's talk about how are you helping customers leverage both technologies, because it's not about, that's actually wrong when people look at Cloud Foundry versus Kubernetes. It's Cloud Foundry and Kubernetes. Also, I also want to talk about Tanzu a bit, because that is becoming a very critical piece of VMware's strategy for businesses.
Yeah, precisely. And you hit it right on the head there with Cloud Foundry and Kubernetes. These are really, two different abstractions, two of the most successful open source projects of the last decade or so. And Cloud Foundry has been around for quite a while, and it has always really focused on helping developers get their code, from laptop, to production, going through CI/CD and all those types of things, but really giving you that super highway to a production type of deployment. And it created a lot of extra projects and extra components because Kubernetes didn't quite exist then, and heck, even Docker didn't exist quite then. So there remains this really elegant power behind CF push, getting that code from laptop to production, very quickly. But now infrastructure has evolved, infrastructure has changed. Kubernetes is a wonderful extensible platform. And so we think there's a lot of upside to give enterprises this proven developer experience with Cloud Foundry and marry it up with some Kubernetes primitives and really remixing this application platform experience for the next decade or so, as companies are really placing their bets on Kubernetes, but really want that classic Cloud Foundry type of developer experience. So there's a number of other things that are part of the VMware Tanzu portfolio, as you alluded to, because this application platform is a really useful abstraction. It's what we see being the dominant type of abstraction for Spring applications, .NET Core applications, .NET Framework applications, Node, and so on. But not everything is going to be refactored into a microservice. And so when you have applications that you just want to get some additional operational efficiencies on, Kubernetes is fantastic for that. You have also companies building all kinds of brand new experiences that just don't quite fit in that 12-factor construct either. So Kubernetes and other components of the Tanzu portfolio, like the Tanzu build service, for example, things like Tanzu mission control, give operators and developers a lot of capabilities when it comes to Kubernetes and really running it at scale and dramatically simplifying what that experience is like running it day to day.
I also want to understand that there are like different set of customers. One are that they have heavy investment in Cloud Foundry and they want to continue their work. Some are trying to move some of their workloads, because both kind of, if not similar kind of, problems they solve, they are trying to move to Kubernetes. So how do you help customers wherever they are in their digital transformation journey? And one more thing is that while we're talking about supporting existing Cloud Foundry users, I think Pivotal Web Services has also announced end of life. So what about those users who are leveraging some of those resources there?
When it comes to Cloud Foundry and Kubernetes, these are both technologies that are just simply a vehicle to get you from where you're at today to where you'd like to be in the future. So we've always really focused on business outcomes. How often are you releasing code to production? Do you want to get that number up from releasing every couple of months to releasing maybe every week and then eventually, every day? Are your systems able to meet these SLAs that your organization and your customers require, 3 nines, 4 nines, what have you? Are you able to scale, to meet these big moments of truth for your business when you have a big product launch, or say everybody starts shopping online because of a global pandemic? What's your security posture like? So we talk about these outcomes and understand, where the customer's status quo is and where they want to go. That conversation sometimes has a lot to do with Cloud Foundry, or sometimes has a lot to do with Kubernetes, but it's really about their infrastructure today and how they can move to get from point A to point B. And then we really talk to the customer to understand what's their posture towards Kubernetes, what's their posture towards open source. Are they running on premises, or do they want to get to the public cloud? There are big organizational decisions that we usually slot right into. And what we're seeing is that there's a really wide range of technologies that end up being the right fit for the customer based on what they want to achieve and what they want to accomplish. That's why I think VMware has been so active in open source across all kinds of different communities. To that last point about Pivotal Web Services, I think one of the things that we're really excited about with a new flavor of Cloud Foundry that runs on top of Kubernetes, that dramatically simplifies the installation experience and the getting started experience. And so Pivotal Web Services was a fantastic way for people to really experience the power of CF push without having to stand up a whole bunch of infrastructure. Now with this new sort of slimmed down install experience, we think that's going to be probably the better way to evaluate what Cloud Foundry can do for your organization. So there still is a very frictionless way that you have to try out the product. And that's with the upcoming version of Tanzu Application Service for Kubernetes. That's now a public beta.
Awesome. Gerard, thank you so much for taking time out from a busy schedule and talk to us today about the work that you are doing in the both Cloud Foundry and Kubernetes space. And I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.
You're welcome. My great pleasure.